Hello, welcome to a new unboxing. Today we build giant model, a 50mm size. This is a new WLtoys model, the V666. So this is not the direct messenger from the devil. This is a new quadcopter introducing for the first time for WLtoys the full RTF FPV setup. So what you will find, of course, the new quadcopter is based on the chassis of the V262, but also now including an LCD monitor as well as the video transmitter and an absorbing choke system. So with this package you will be able to fly directly out of the box and to enjoy FPV, first person view. So it's very fashionable. If you want to be introduced in FPV, if you don't want to spend a lot of money and time to learn how to build your carbon frame, for example, the ZMR 250 and so on, or on the and a lot of frame existing, you can, if you are afraid of that, have a look to this package. So what you will find in the box? Okay, so here the quadcopter. This is basically, if you have already owned a 262, this is exactly, at least for the top parts, the same that the former WLtoys model. Okay, so exactly the same. What is different? Look beneath. What you will find? You will find first much more longer landing skid, as you can see, feet. If I can compare to the other model, this is without the foam, the 262. Okay, so as you can see directly, the feet now are much more longer. Okay, the arms are the same size, the same 5mm carbon bone. Okay, it's not a problem, but the feet now are much more longer in order to welcome, to have increased the ground clearance to welcome this part. So the main novelty is here, at least for the quadcopter. You have first the choke absorbing system there, as well as the camera, HD ready camera, okay, here, and including in the same time some real transmissions working on 5.8 GHz frequency. Okay, so I will return in a few moments to describe more in details this quadcopter. What also we'll find? Okay, you will find this LCD. Okay, this is an LCD display. Whoop, okay, where you can find the system to avoiding the sun lens. Okay, so it's very easy to mount into this assembly. Just push and it's okay. So it's a 4.3 inch LCD display. Okay, so it's very easy. As you can see, the screen is very brilliant. It's not a matte dial. Okay, so wow, you absolutely need this shading protection against the X-ray sun. So it's very important to have it in order to see something. Okay, and as you can see, only one button to turn on and off this LCD display. I will return in details also in this display. What also we will find the larger model of the transmitter. You know that WLtoys have two types of transmitter. The more tiny one, completely black, and the Lux model. Okay, this one more adapted to large hand, and you can turn on in the 4 modes between mode 1, mode 2, mode 3, and mode 4 by this button like this. Okay, you can turn in mode 4, for example, or mode 1 for example European people. So what also you will find, you will need only 4 AA batteries. Okay, and here you will find the classic button to switch between speed mode. Okay, you have 4 modes available. I will probably install some battery there. Okay, and okay, and to show you the different behavior of the quadcopter. So this left shoulder button is to turn the different speed mode. Use default one is 40%, second one 60%, 80% for the third, and finally 100%. And if you press again, you return to the default one, 40%. So the right shoulder button is to activate flipping. when you have to bind for the quadcopter, but when you press it, okay, you have an emitting beam indicating that you will perform a flip in the direction you will impose. So if I decided to push on the right stick on the right, I will perform a flip on the right side. Okay, so the other buttons are there. So you have, if you press on the top one, you activated the camera. If you are pressing on this one, you are taking photos. You can turn off and on the lights of the quadcopter by pressing this button, and this one actually is not attributed. As far as I know, the V666 don't have the headless function. Well, at least you cannot turn on off with this remote. Okay, so maybe with another one you can turn, but I already inspected the flying control board. I didn't see any compass chip on it. Okay, so if you look closely in detail this transmitter, you can notice that this is a novelty. Okay, this hole is in order to welcome the LCD display. So you just have to clip it, and voila, it's installed. So it's very easy. Okay, so just need to turn out the LCD display by the side. Okay, actually I don't have any signal, so no signal display. Okay. So it's very easy. The total weight of the full system of the remote plus the monitor is approximately about 700 grams. So, well, it's a little bit heavy, but no real choice to have a full system. It's working well. The package seems not bad at all. So be aware that you really, unfortunately, the LCD is little bit, the dial is very bright, okay, very lot of reflection, so you really need this part. And in my point of view also, the brightness, the internal setting of the brightness is a little bit low, so, well, the visibility is not extraordinarily great. Okay, so that may be one drawback of this LCD. It's a very cheap model. Okay, if I can resume. So here you can see you have this antenna. In fact, when you receive it, you are receiving linear polarization antenna. Okay, these two one. This one is for the LCD. Okay, so I will show. In fact, for both the video receiver and the video transmitter, you have some SMA connector, SMA connector. Okay, when you have a hole like this with a screw outside, is a SMA. So by default, the V666 is delivered with linear antennas like this, stick one. Okay, so in order to maximize the transmission range, it's known it's better to use such kind of antenna, okay, called circular polarization, exactly a cloverleaf antenna. Okay, so this one is not using a linear polarization, but a circular one. And since it's using a SMA connector, I can very easily screw it. So it's good news. You can install any kind of antenna. The connector is already here. So that's the good news. So what also you will find in the box, you will find some spare props, 2 clockwise, 2 counterclockwise, not a problem. You will find a USB charger module as well with the power adapter. So you will charge the battery with the balancing plug. Okay, it's a 2S LiPo. I will show you in a moment. And you will find also this USB charging cable in order to recharge the internal battery of the monitor. So I already disassembled this module. You have a LiPo, the same kind of the V222 LiPo. It's a 1S cellule, and you have to plug in your USB port in order to charge the internal LiPo. A nice mode will be to install a GST connector somewhere, probably around here, and to use a real charger instead of the USB cable. So it would be a first mode maybe I probably want to do. So what also you will find this USB SD card reader. Okay, like this. I don't know. Okay, sorry. Because on the quadcopter here, you will find it's shipped also with 4 gigabyte SD card like this. So this is a small teeny one. 4 gigabytes is not bad at all. So you just need to insert like this, okay, and to press to keep, and you can hear the clips. It means that is now it's working. So as well I did for the video receiver part. I also install some cloverleaf, as you can see here, cloverleaf antenna, okay, on the SMA port of the video transmitter. Okay, so now I will more focus on the quadcopter itself. So well, the characteristics of the flying contouring board is the same that the V262, so it's not bad at all. Large quadcopter, okay, 350mm size. You have, unfortunately or fortunately, the same brushed N50 model, brushed model there. So, well, it's, I will say now, a big caution. So, since it's a large model using the brush model, this one are, well, versus time can die very fast. So in order to extend their longevity, you have to perform a braking procedure, or at least a dry one, by, for the first time you're receiving, run the motor at very slow throttle during 10 minutes, for example, at very low throttle. So you tune on the transmitter, you just push to have 10% here, okay, and you run during 10 minutes all the motors, okay, on the flat surface. And after, you will have to clean the internal parts. You have 2 holes on each side of the motors, and you have to clean either by airflow or spray cleaner inside to remove the extra residue of brush. Okay, so it will help to perform the braking procedure of this kind of motor. You know, this kind of motor are this kind of quad is the limit size between to use a brush system or brushless. So if you want to maximize the life of such motor, don't play too much with flipping, for example. Don't overload, don't add much more extra weight, okay? And as soon as possible, if you can, remove this foam. Okay, it's very good for beginners, but if you can remove it versus time, you will be able to save 60-70 grams, so it's a lot, and it will help a lot to increase the longevity of motor. Okay, so it's done. It's the same advice for the 262 or the V333, so it's okay. So now I will maybe probably focus on this part, where the one difference also with the V262 is now the antenna is zip tied with they use a heat shrink tube, and you can find here the 2.4 gigahertz antenna. I guess it's in order to avoid interferences with the 5.8 gigahertz port. Okay, so they decided to maximize the distance between the 2 ports. So you have something like 10 centimeters. And if I say that, well, these wavelets, the force of the wavelets of 4.8 gigahertz should be something like, let me say, 12 or 13 millimeters. You have, since you have 10 centimeters, you are far in the far range field of reception between the two, so the interferences will be minimized. I guess it's a good idea. The control range is announced to be 150 meters. So with such positionment of the antenna, okay, the radiation is like this. Okay, so you will favorize the top, the down. Okay, it's good to make very high altitude video like this. But if your quadcopter is like this, here you have a hole. Okay, so be aware that if you are far in the horizontal plane, and if your quad is in this direction, very parallel, okay, you can see only the point of the antenna, you can have a loss of control. Okay, so it's a drawback, okay, on this positioning, but I think if you are more focused to take this quad in very high altitude to make a camera video of your all around, is a nice idea to install the antenna like this. What also you will find the new system for absorbing shocks transmitted by the motors. So this is a classic camera mount with a dampening ball there, okay, and there are the role is to absorb main of the vibration transmitted by boilers. Oh, I also make a tiny and very cheap mode. You know, when you are receiving your parcel, you have often the foam like this protecting the parcel. I use a teeny part like this, a piece off, and install between the battery compartment and the camera. So it will absorb a little bit more the vibration. And in my first video, I don't have any Jello at all. So I don't know if it's due by this part and maybe a part of the Jello removal by this small foam. Concerning the lens, good, you can adjust the orientation, it's not a problem, so it's good. Okay, me, I don't like too much when it's too in position aiming to the ground, because you know, if you are moving forward you can see anything, so I prefer to put it more in the horizontal plane. Well, one drawback I will say is about the field of view of this lens. Okay, for example, I think this one is approximately of 60 degrees, 60, 70 degrees, so it's very narrow field of view. But I know you can install a more wider lens. Okay, this is maybe probably one of the most important mode to do. It's to install a wider lens. So probably you can remove access behind this plastic circle to access directly to the original lens, or maybe to glue directly on this part 120 degrees field of view. For example, the 808 camera lens at 120 degrees can be fit on this lens. A user already did. So in order to give you an idea of the video transmission, I will measure the video transmitted power. Okay, so first I forgot to mention that how to plug your just the video part. Okay, you just to put the cable like this on balancing port. Okay, now I will say the very important things. Never plug your video transmitter without any antenna installed. Okay, you can cook immediately your video chip. Okay, because you don't have any load. Okay, this is an antenna, but in terms of electricity, it's a load. It will the power will be transmitted and dispersed in this part. Okay, if you don't have it, it's like if you fire a bullet and it returns immediately to the video transmitter, and you can kill your stuff. Okay, so never plug this connector without be sure that an antenna is installed. Okay, so now I will make a small measurement with this device, which is the immersion RC. It's used to measure any outputted power from a video transmitter, for example, or radio command. So I will screw the to the output of the video transmitter. Okay, as you can see, with such you need an attenuator. Okay, this is a 30 dB attenuator, and I will plug the now the power. Okay, so I will turn on the machine, this sensor, so it's tuned on the 5.8 GHz. Actually is not nothing, but now I can power the video transmitter just by plugging the balancing port. Okay, and as you can see, the power is actually to 125 milliwatts. So it will decrease versus time because when you will get warm, but it's not bad at all. So if I can express in dB, this is close to 21 dBm. Okay, it's not bad at all. So I will return to milliwatts. Okay, so now it's decreasing. Well, okay, it's not bad at all. So it's more than 100 milliwatts, so it's not bad at all. For the European markets, I don't know, at least for the French, this video transmitter is not legal because we are limited in 25 milliwatts, but it means that you will have a a good range in the video transmission. If you are free of obstacle, not in urban zone, you can expect something 100-200 meters without any problem, especially if you install such kind of antenna. Okay, so this is a very good news, I will say, about the output of the video transmission. Okay, so I will turn off the video transmitter. Okay, disassemble this machine. So it's very useful system if you are practicing a lot of FPV or want to measure the output of your remote control. So I will reinstall the antenna, so it's very important. Okay, we need to at least to install a load, very important. And I will just show the quality in the display. So I will just plug the video transmitter like this. Now it's okay, and turn off the transmission. So, and you will see in a few seconds. Okay, now it's you can see clearly the image, so it's not bad at all. So here you have an information. This is time left on the 4 gigabyte card, so you can record up to 1 hour 10 minutes of recording in the video. Okay, in the HD ready camera. I remind that this camera can simultaneously record in SD format as well to transmit the video signal in PAL format. Okay, so this is the quality in a PAL format, and you have to know that the quality recording on the SD card is much better. Okay, but already the transmission is not bad at all thanks to the cloverleaf antenna. No, okay, it's very good. As you can see, the field of view is a little bit narrow. I will adjust a little bit more. Okay, now we can see the foam. Well, this logo HD for me is completely useless to display. It's occult a little bit part of the images, but it's very good. One thing too, I will now turn on the quadcopter, and you will notice something. Okay, so now I will plug the quadcopter part, so you can turn on and off independently. Each of them is very good. Okay, so the quadcopter is like this, and I will turn the transmitter. Okay, arm the quadcopter. Now it's armed, so if I press just a bit, okay, it's turned on. As any V2X2 protocol, you can calibrate the quadcopter by going to 100%. Okay, and press both sticks in lower left position like this, and the quadcopter should flash fast in a few seconds like this. Okay, now it's calibrated, so I will return to 20%. So you have to notice something here. Since I'm not recording and just transmitting the FPV part, you have the white left time on the SD card. Now if I'm pressing this button, okay, you will see that now it's turning red, okay, and it's recording on the SD card. But you notice that now, if I'm recording, the transmission here in broadcasting is not perfectly fluid. The frame rate is decreasing a bit. I will estimate something like 15 frames per second, okay. And if I stop the camera, now it returns completely normal, okay. So I guess the video processor is working too much to record simultaneously and transmit perfectly fluid the image in the same time. You know, it's not the problem of this unique video system. It's in general the same case, okay. So it's hard to record and to transmit in the same time simultaneously the image. But you have to know it, that each time you want to record on the SD card, you will have a frame drop in the video transmission. Okay, so I will end this part, this unboxing and quick testing, by making another experiment to show that finally the video transmission channel is tuned on the 5705. So it's working on the Boscam frequency channel. So I will turn on and off a video receiver. This is an Aomo RX004, I like to use it. And as you can see, I can it's tuned on the 5705 channels, and I can receive perfectly the signal, is the same, okay? So if you don't want to use these LCD monitors, okay, you can use, of course, any video receiver compatible with the Boscam channel. So the old Fat Shark video receiver are not compatible. If you have a Boscam one or now any 32 channel video receiver should work with this FPV. So it's good also. It's like this. I recorded the FPV session. So they transmitted with this model. I can record on SD card just the FPV part. Okay. So in a PAL format. So up to 570 lines per 520, something like this, if I remember well the PAL format definitions. So okay. So now. I will hand this small unboxing and quick testing. So the big novelty is the FPV part. The video transmitter delivers power up to 120 milliwatts, so it's good. Almost a 200 milliwatts video transmitter. The lens have a narrow field, so a quick mode will be to increase by installing a wider lens there. Okay, the fit now is increasing the ground clearance to welcome this new camera system. So it's very good. They decentralize the 2.4 GHz antenna in order to protect the video interferences, and to also increase the range control. So you have 150 meters like this, okay? So it's not bad at all. The flying duration of the battery, I forgot to mention about the battery. The battery shipped is a 1200 milliwatts. You have really 8 minutes of flying time, so it's very good. This quadcopter have, of course, LVC alarm when the LEDs start to flash, so it's very good. For a first FPV full kits is not bad at all. So if you are aware that you have to be very cautious, you have to take some caution on the motors, to not to perform a lot of flipping, because when you flips a lot, it's stressing the motors. If you can remove this protective foam as soon as possible, you will, and if you regularly clean these motors by injecting spray cleaners, you will help a lot to extend the longevity of the motors. Okay, so I strongly advise, if you want to buy this quadcopter, to order at least one clockwise motors and one counterclockwise motor. So 2 motors as spare is very important, because you know usually you will fly it on the weekend, on a Sunday, and of course if one motor dies you will have to wait 3 weeks from the slow boats to have a replacement. So if you want to take it, take directly also 2 motors as spare. Okay, it's my strong advice. Okay, so okay, it's already 5 minutes are transmitted. The video transmitter is quite warm. I can touch it. It's not burning, but it's hot. So I think I will end this review. If you like it, please subscribe my channel, and see you in the next video, probably to the test of this brushless version of this one. Thank you. Bye bye.